Hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? Looks like we got quite a few people on here already. Welcome. I'm Andy, and we have Andrew here as well. How's it going, Andrew?
Good to see everyone tonight.
Yeah, we got
lots of friends in the chat here, and by friends I mean customers and interested people that we've chatted with along the way.
Yeah.
There's our buddy Max. Hey Max, good to see you.
Lots of people excited for the big giveaway today. So we're just going to go through a couple things quick first here. So just a quick overview of the graffiti features once again, if for any of those of you who weren't able to join us last time. And we just have a few updates we want to share. And then we will jump into the winners, which is why you guys are all here tonight. So maybe just to start, we're going to do a quick poll. So while Andrew tells us kind of an overview of the graffiti, we want to hear from you about the features that you guys are most excited about for that we have on the graffiti. But Andrew, why don't you talk to us a little bit about all of the great features?
Yeah, I mean, Andy knows I can talk about this all day long, and I think some of you kind of tuned into the last live event, and I mean, we tried to pour a bunch of love into this bike. We tried to look at every single part and make the right informed choice for something that was going to make an overall high performance package. Yeah, someone just commented speed and distance. I mean, obviously, when you're looking at e-bikes, those are two big things that people care about. How do I get up hills? How do I go a long way? How do I go really fast? I think we got that down. Not to say that that's not hard. It is challenging to do well, and we've spent a bunch of time like programming the right firmware to do that. And yeah, and Max just commented speed and duration, and yes, it's a very durable bike. It's very solid, and it's got just such a stable feel. I know sometimes people will say, hey, at 40 miles an hour, should you really be riding a bicycle at that speed? It is really stable at that speed. You can take your hands off the handlebars, not recommended, but you can at that speed, and it's really smooth. It tracks really straight. So some of the features that we don't talk about on the website, but that I'm really happy about is like the Graffiti as compared to other e-bikes is dead silent. It's we use a sine wave controller, which just about nobody uses. In fact, I don't really know many others on the market that do, which it makes a big difference. It's really smooth, and it's just the sound is really satisfying. Like the bare emittance of sound that it puts out is really satisfying, and to be able to go so quickly at such a quiet speed is amazing. So yeah, lots of things I really care and love. So I'll shut up because again, I can chat forever on this thing.
Okay, awesome. Well, we did just want to give you guys a quick update too on where we're at. Actually, maybe while we just talked about the features, we'll just talk about how you can actually get the Graffiti here. So today is the last day where you can put a reservation down. The Graffiti goes on sale on Thursday, June 30th, so 2 days from now. But if you put your reservation down, you're actually going to get in tomorrow, and you're getting in at the early bird pricing. So it's a pretty great savings. You can head to the website to check out the prices in your local currency. I will just pop the link in the chat here now. But if you are interested in that, definitely check it out. You have until midnight tonight to reserve that. And then tomorrow you'll get a private link where you can go and actually purchase at a discounted price. And you'll make sure that, you get one of these Graffitis in this first production run. So if you do know that you want that, definitely check that out. And then, yeah, I guess, Andrew, why don't we talk a little bit about production updates? Do you want to give people an update on where we're at with all of that?
Yeah, so things are coming along really, really well with the Graffiti. I mean, we're not. You guys have seen the images of it. We're not making changes from what you've seen. Everything is still on target for a September shipping date. Yeah, it's interesting. Someone just commented about the Voodoo coming out too. So I'd say with Graffiti, yeah, things are coming along quite well. You should see the rack extender up fairly soon. It's actually a 2-piece rack extender that's going to be on the bike. So it's got one piece that is just basically an extender that kind of comes out, makes the integrated rack a little bit longer, and it's got side rails on that. And then the second piece is actually like side rails that go around the side of it. So in case you wanted to put bags on, you can put that on as well. And yeah, so it's a really usable piece that goes along with it, and as well a cargo box that's going to go on that as well. So that should all be out soon and be kind of available on the website. So yeah, Perfect. That's going well. And the voodoo prototype is getting very close to being done. It's quite exciting to watch the progress of this
Yes.
powerful beast. And yeah, and thanks everyone that's kind of watching out for that thing. It's quite the bike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll keep you guys updated on that when we have pre-order ready to go. It'll probably be in the next month here. So you guys, I assume all of you are on the VIP list, and so just stay tuned to your email to get updates on that. One other question we wanted to ask you guys before we jump into prizes here. So one of the next steps for us with the graffiti is getting it out to a bunch of reviewers. So I know there's been lots of requests. So if you guys just want to drop in the comments, who do you want to review the graffiti? We've had so many people reach out to us. And right now we have a limited number of bikes to circulate. So let us know who your favorite reviewers are and who you kind of trust to get that information. And we'll do our best to get the bikes to them. Okay. Now I think it's time we jump into the results here, because that's what you guys are all here for. So we'll kind of start from, we'll go move up in prizes. So all of you guys who received at least 50 points, you are all getting a $100 discount code. So you should have already received that if you did get the 50 points. So that you'll be able to use up until the end of July. So keep that deadline in mind. We'll remind you about that. But yeah, if you don't win here today, you'll be able to use that discount code to be able to purchase the graffiti. Sorry, my eye is watering here. I don't know what's going on. So that everyone who got the 50 points will have that in their inbox. Tomorrow, we're actually going to do kind of a flash sale as well. So we are going to put 20 graffitis for sale. So it's first come, first serve. They will be on sale. I'm not going to tell you the price right now. You'll have to stay tuned till tomorrow. But we will send out an email first thing in the morning. So check your inbox. And like I said, first 20, then they're gone. And so you want to definitely get in early on that. Because yeah, once they're gone, they're gone. And as you know, they don't officially go on sale until June 30th. So we're kind of giving you a little early preview of that. And 20 people will be able to purchase it tomorrow at a discounted rate. So definitely stay tuned to your inboxes for that. Like midnight early. Potentially. I was actually more thinking like 5 a.m. I was going to schedule it for 5 a.m. That might be really early for some of you guys on the West Coast.
Keeps asking too about whether or not we're going to be the Electrify e-bike show in Seattle in July. There's a potential that we might be. We will likely be at the one in New York in August, and kind of everything following.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for all the comments on reviewers. Definitely some of those folks. And we've talked to Shreddy quite a number of times. He's awesome. We're a big fan.
Yeah.
And some of the other folks here that you guys have mentioned, yeah, that we're actually just talking to Electrek today. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, I'll send out, how about this for time? I'll send out an email when we're done here and let you know the time. It will be, I'll put Eastern and Pacific for everyone, because I know we're kind of spanning the country here. So, okay. So let's talk about who got the most points. It was a race to the finish line. There was a few people battling it out right up until the contest closed today. So thank you guys all for participating and kind of spreading the graffiti love. We really appreciate that. We're obviously super excited about the graffiti, and we're we're happy you guys are too, and you're willing to share it with your friends and family. So without further ado, we will show and just for reference, the person who is at the top of the leaderboard gets a $500 credit to put towards an e-bike. So here we go. So Corbin was the winner there. Well done, Corbin. I know you worked your butt off to get to land in that top position. So well done. Over 2,000 points there. So, and Gordon, you did amazing as well. Thank you to all of you guys for, like I said, for just really sharing this around, spreading it around. We really do appreciate it. So Corbin, we'll be in touch with you to get you your discount code. All right. I tried to get a drum roll.
I can't watch. I'm too excited.
I know. And I think I saw the name of the person. I wasn't sure because you have to be here to win. And so I was like, ooh, we got to have a couple backups here. So as you know, it was randomly drawn. The more points you had, the more chances you had to win. But it was a random draw. And so let's do a little drum roll here. Ooh, okay. Winner is Dave. This was the email, Diet Nudie. And I think I saw Dave on here, if I am not mistaken. Dave, if you're in the comments, give me a big woo. Let's hope he's here. I'm pretty sure, because I don't actually know his last name is the problem. But I thought I saw a last name that definitely resembled.
There he is. There he is.
Okay, awesome. Woo. All right. Well, congratulations, Dave. Dave Neumuller is our winner. I'm glad that the first one drawn was actually here. And Dave racked up quite a few points as well. I think he was around 100 to 200. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but so he definitely participated. So it's awesome. He won as well. And again, thanks everyone for playing along with this. It's been fun. We'll probably do one again in the future. We'll see. It definitely went well. So, yeah. So I guess just to wrap up, congratulations to our winners. Again, if you are wanting to purchase the graffiti, you can either reserve till midnight tonight. And that's going to get you your early access tomorrow and get you a special deal, which the link is in the comments for that. And then, as I mentioned, I'll send out an email tonight telling you the time when you'll get access tomorrow for those 20. That's only for people who participated in the graffiti giveaway. So it'll be a special link. And it's limited to 20 bikes. So if you are wanting to get your hands on one, that is also a good way to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to wrap up with any questions? If anyone has them while we're here, we got through that pretty quick. If anyone does have questions, pop them in the chat. Otherwise, we can wrap this up.
Yeah, Dave, we'd like to get on a call with you and chat. Be nice to meet you. And yeah.
Question: order single battery. We had this question last time.
It is not easy to install. It is not easy to install. So there is work that has to be done in the controller itself, and there's a battery or a voltage blender that has to be installed, and the cables have to be routed through the frame, and so it's not just basically like clicking a battery on. So we do suggest if you're all about the speed, if you've got lots of hills, if you like somewhat longer rides, we do suggest you use the dual battery.
Yeah. We got one here. How long is the seat?
Seat is, by memory, 550 millimeters, which Here, hang on. Let me convert that in case you want that in inches. Is about 21 inches long. It's quite long, so you can easily put 2 people on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, and we got an offer to do a review. Daniel, if you want to reach out to us, you can just message us on Instagram or send us an email, and then we can chat about the details.
Yeah. Sign up to see if we have any other questions here.
Gordon is asking, how comfy is the ride without rear suspension?
So, I mean, I guess we wouldn't have designed the bike without rear suspension if we didn't feel like it was going to be a comfortable ride. I think with the fat tires and front suspension on the bike that it is good for any urban environments. I think fat tires in general on a bike like provide like an element of suspension to it. So yeah, I think we've not had any troubles riding it around and finding it really uncomfortable. That's for sure.
Yeah.
How heavy is the bike? So the bike is 62 pounds without the batteries, and each battery is about 9 pounds. So depending on whether you got the single or dual, or even if you've got the dual and you only have 1 battery installed, add 9 pounds for every battery that you put in.
Right.
Peak watts of the motor, or peak watts of our setup, I would say, because the motor will handle even more than the peak watts of our setup. But the peak watts of our setup is 4,700 watts.
Okay.
And if the question is going to come next as to whether or not you can adjust anything to get more wattage out of it, the answer would be no, because we don't recommend that, because the battery controller motor is all basically designed to stay within a safe range. The torque, we're going down through
it does have passenger pegs, and you can fit a second person on the seat as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Gerald's got a question above. Gerald, you're in an early delivery group. You're in the previous production run, so yours is still to receive shortly here, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, these questions are going quickly. The torque in Newton meters, I think, is what's there. It's about 150, 155. So it's quite significant, actually. The controller is peak 90 amps. Nominal continuous is 50 amps.
Okay. How long will the belt drive last without maintenance?
So the belt drive is going to be, I think, one of the parts on the bike that's probably going to outlast almost everything else. The belt drive will be one of the last things 30 years from now that will still be hanging around, that will never die. Those belt drives, and given how much you likely will be pedaling, like I had a Graffiti out today for about a half-hour ride. I probably turned the pedals around 3 or 4 times.
Good workout.
It's a tough workout. It was really hard. But in all honesty, like those belts are under normal operation. If you just have them on a usual bike, they last about 4 or 5 times longer than a chain would. Mm-hmm. Doesn't require any sort of lubrication or anything. So we would be surprised if you ever go through one of these belts.
All right.
There's a question of volts.
Yes.
So it's a 52 volt bike. We find 52 to be like the upper end of where you get to speed in the bicycle range before everything has to change over to motorcycle parts.
How hard is it to assemble?
So the only things that don't come assembled are the handlebar isn't on it, which is 4 bolts to install the handlebar. The front wheel isn't on it, which is just 1 bolt that goes through the wheel to install the wheel. And then the pedals, which you need a 15 millimeter wrench to put those on, or a regular bike pedal wrench if you've got that too. If you can put together IKEA furniture, you can put together the pieces that are required on the bike. And if you do need assistance, we do recommend using VeloFix, or someone that can just come to your house and put it together.
And the key is if you can put IKEA furniture together without the remaining parts, without any parts left over, then you don't know where they go. You want to avoid that.
Yeah.
Okay, Bluetooth.
Yep. So the Egg Rider does come with an application, which does project the speed, efficiency, distance, time of your ride. It actually does also keep all of the stats of your rides. So it's all basically there. It's kind of cool actually, because I'm just pulling it up here. You can see on some of your rides exactly how far you sort of went, and information that's sort of on there. Is one of the reasons we really like the Egg Rider, is it kind of adds that mobile app element to it.
And maybe, Andrew, if you want to show that again, we have another question about the functions that are shown on the display.
The functions that are shown on the display, I'm not really sure what you would mean by that, but on the display itself, on the bike or on the Egg Rider app, Gordon, because on the display itself on the bike, there's just basically up down arrows and then a mode button. The mode switches you between the road and the off-road setting. Road being the legal 750 watts in the US and 500 watts in Canada, and off-road being the unlimited. On the app itself, it shows moving time, total time, average moving speed, average speed, max power, max speed, the distance you've gone, the energy you've consumed, and the efficiency. So it shows actually watt hours per mile. So there's quite a bit of stuff that's within there, plus the the battery life. For the instructions for the Egg Rider app, yes, and in fact, all of it's available on Egg Rider's website as well. Now, there's some things that, there's quite a few things that you can change within there. So you can basically change and customize the power levels that you've got within each. Yeah.
Okay. I think we got to all of them.
Except for is the front suspension adjustable? Yes, it is. It's air adjustable. Oh. Yeah. The front suspension is air adjustable. So you use a shock pump to add the amount of air that you would require for, your weight.
Oh, we got one more here.
So how long to charge the battery? It's about 4 or 5 hours to charge a battery from dead. I'm not sure what 1-in-1 battery setup might mean, but
probably
oh
it's you can only charge one at a time.
Yeah, you charge one at a time. So it's really going to depend on if you use the entire life of both of the batteries up. Because then it would be 4 or 5 hours at a time each, or you can purchase a second charger for it if you were to feel like you wanted that.
Is there a walk mode?
Yes, there is. There's a 0 setting for the for the display as well, where you can put it into walk mode.
Perfect.
There's one that says, "What's your max speed for pedal assist?"
Oh, I just put up how long. Did I miss one?
Oh, no.
Okay.
You're in line. You're in line.
Okay.
So how long is the battery life? It really depends on a lot on the speed that you're going and the amount of hills. And so as an example, and this is e-bikes across the board. If you go, 15 miles an hour versus if you're going 40 miles an hour, you're pretty much using 4 times the amount of battery power to go 40 miles an hour that you would be going at 15 miles an hour. So at 15 miles per hour, we've tested this thing quite a few different times at somewhere in and around 80 to 100 miles of range. It's quite crazy on the dual battery. It's a lot. But if you're going to go 40, you can get somewhere in and around like 40 to 50 miles of range at the most if you're kind of going top speed, and a little bit less even if you've got hills in the way, if you're just like cranking on the throttle the whole time. So it really is going to depend on how you ride the bike.
And then also the weight of the rider, and if you're like hauling any cargo, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But Tammy, if you want, on our website, in the link that I placed in the chat there, we do have a table, and it shows kind of our projections and how we came to them. And then we also do that for competitor bikes as well, because we talked about this last week, but you want to keep that in mind when you're looking at what everyone says their range is. So we've kind of done the math for you at kind of an average 15 to 20 mile per hour pedal assist with a 175-pound rider. And so you can see across all of the bikes what range you're going to get.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, ours is the best. Okay. Max speed for pedal assist.
So the pedal assist and the throttle, like it doesn't matter which one you use, because pedal assist and throttle will both like be able to get you all the way up to 40 miles an hour. Should you want to be going that quickly, and if you're in the top power setting. So it's all completely up to you. It is a cadence sensor because there really wouldn't be a point in the bike having a throttle sensor.
Okay. Does the light have high and low?
The way that we've got the light set up right now, it's just basically all on. So it doesn't have high and low right now.
Okay. Will the fender arrive installed?
The rear fender arrives installed. The front fender does not. The rack, it has an integrated rack on it, but if you want the rack extender, that's a separate option that you would have to purchase. So that's not installed.
Okay. Got a question about the seat here.
Yeah. So we know one of the first things that most everybody wants to change with their e-bike is their seat. So we spent a whole ton of time creating a pretty amazing seat for this thing. It's got 2 different layers of cushioning in it. The first inch is a thicker foam, and then the top inch is a softer foam on it. The material is it's a weatherproof vinyl on it that is I mean it basically is the same as like a leatherette that's used in cars, right? So but it's meant to be sort of rainproof, right?
Are we looking for distributors or selling direct only?
At the moment, we're selling direct only, but we have been chatting with a number of different dealers. and that is definitely a possibility in the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
6'3". You should be just fine.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm just over 6 foot. I have no problems with the long seat. You just sit a little bit further back on the seat. We've had folks like that that height and more sit on the bike just fine, because it is like designed as a motorcycle style. So the longer seat allows you to sit further back.
And while we're talking about the seat height,
Mm-hmm.
So you know that off the top of your head?
Yeah, so the seat height's 31 inches from the ground.
There you go.
Hmm.
Okay, we got a question about the charger.
So almost all chargers. So if you've got a charger that's on a timer like this, it's going to depend on whether or not you've got the right adapter that goes into the batteries more than anything. And then it's going to depend on, like, I'm assuming you can plug this obviously into a 110 volt outlet. So it's mostly going to be whether or not you can plug the end of yours into the battery. So that would be fine, because you should be able to use that for sure. Ours basically has an automatic shut off when it gets to the top. It doesn't continue to charge, other than it does provide continued rebalancing charging. And if you know about kind of how that works, it's if one battery, gets up to 4.1 volts while another one's still at 4, it continues to give just a little bit of extra power to the 4-volt battery until it's up and it gets into a state of what's called balance.
Awesome. We are not in the Philippines yet, unfortunately. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we would be interested in chatting about what the challenges there is if you can't get e-bikes in that space. Yeah. So
okay. Oh, one last question came here.
No, you absolutely do not have to pedal for the best speed. You can hit the throttle if you feel like it. I mean, in all reality, the Graffiti is about similar to a 150cc motorbike. So you don't really have to pedal it. So it's up to you whether or not you will. The bike is going to be sent with Class 2 stickers, because in its road mode, when you're on the Egg Rider and you're in road mode, it is in legal Class 2 status. So, and it is actually, we talk a lot about speed and power and things, because like for us, when we get to a hill and I want the top power to push me up the hill, yes, but actually sat in 750 watt mode, this is a very, very comfortable, very silent, and still a very high performing bike. So, and in fact, most of the time I'm using it in that way.
We have Shreddy joining us. Shreddy, you got brought up earlier. We were asking who they wanted to see review the bike, and you were at the top of the list. So thanks for joining.
One of the most famous e-bike reviewers shows up. Here's the man, Shreddy.
Yeah.
We said we've chatted with you quite a few times. It's quite amazing when we asked what reviewer we wanted. Everyone wanted to have do a review. Your name came up over and over and over. So yeah, it's cool to see you again.
Yeah.
But
looks like he has a question. While we're talking about him, we'll answer this. How they come delivered.
Yeah. So I mean, we're delivered in a similar box as to many others. We also like the trend that was started by Van Moof, in which they put a TV on their box. It does actually like prevent damage to e-bikes when you do that, because the delivery drivers think that it's a big piece of fragile electronics and they don't stack it that way. And we, it's until they start to recognize that it's an e-bike inside and not a TV. That's how ours will be delivered.
All right. Does a reservation guarantee a bike set aside for you? It's not like 100%, but I'm going to go with 99. So you're pretty solid if you have a reservation. And you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have about 6 hours to put a reservation down. So you can do that if you like. What else do we got here? Oh, I think we got them all. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you guys for sticking around with us. And that was a nice little impromptu question session as well. If you guys do have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us over email, or we're always on the online chat as well. Instagram, Facebook, all of the things. And then, yeah, once again, reservations close tonight. And if you get a reservation, you'll get early access tomorrow. And then we also have 20 bikes for sale tomorrow for anyone who participated in the contest. It will be first come, first serve. And I will send out an email later this evening, just letting you know when that's going to start tomorrow. And it'll have all the details in it. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. And I think that's probably all we need to cover. Hey?
Yeah. Congrats again, Dave. Congrats on the win.
Yeah. Congrats. And Corbin as well. We'll be in touch with both of you guys to coordinate your prizes.
Yeah, and Shreddy, we might just be out there at some point soon.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, guys, and hope you have a great evening. We'll chat soon.
Awesome. See you, everyone.
Bye. Bye.